If you're running Windows 11, secure boot is an absolute must. It's a system requirement after all. But your system can sometimes throw you a curveball. My name is Yadullah. You're watching Candid.Technology, and in this video we're talking about the error where you sometimes might not be able to enable secure boot because your BIOS says you're in user mode. Now Windows 11 has certain hardware requirements such as enabling secure boot and having TPM 2.0 that are absolutely necessary to run the operating system, and some apps or games like Valorant for example will also force these requirements for you. So you're trying to enable secure boot, but it keeps saying that you can't do it when in user mode. So the first thing that we're going to do is actually go back and try doing so again from the system BIOS. Now how do we enter that? Instead of restarting your system and bashing your keyboard like a monkey, what we are going to do is press Windows key plus I to head over to Windows settings, then go to system, scroll all the way down and click on recovery, and then click on advanced startup right here. So just go ahead and click this restart now button. Now as soon as I click it, my system will restart, which means I can't record with OBS. So let me switch to my camera and then I'll show you how you can enable secure boot in your BIOS. Just keep in mind that if you get errors like if you find a secure boot option grayed out or something like that, look for custom secure boot methods setting in your BIOS. It may or may not be there. It doesn't exist in mine. It may exist in yours. If you find any sort of secure boot mode method, change it to custom and then try setting your secure boot settings once again. This might fix the problem. So once your PC restarts, you will see a screen like this. What we're going to do is click on troubleshoot. And then head over to advanced options. Now you will see a bunch of options here. We're going to go click on UEFI firmware settings and click restart again. Now this will take a second, but this should now boot into our system's BIOS. So here we are. Now your system's BIOS might look completely different from this, so don't worry about it. The most important thing is that you find the secure boot configuration and make sure that it's enabled. So secure boot is enabled and secure boot mode is set to standard. No fancy settings required here. Other than that, head over to the boot section of your BIOS and make sure that the boot mode select is set to UEFI. Don't set it to legacy. That might help you installing some operating systems or things like that, but in most cases UEFI is the way to go. Moving on, if that doesn't fix the problem and you have enabled secure boot in the BIOS but it's not working in Windows, it could be happening because of some corrupt Windows files. Now fixing this is very easy. Just open command prompt and make sure that you check this open run as administrator option. So we're going to go ahead and click OK, give it the permissions that it needs, and now I'm just going to run SFC/scan now. Pro tip, it's good to run SFC Scan now every now and then when you're using a system, just for the sake of it. Press enter, this will scan your system for any problems. It's going to take a while, so I'm not going to do this right now. And once you've run SFC, the next command that you're going to run is DISM. So it's going to be like DISM/online/cleanup-image/RestoreHealth. This command should be able to connect to Windows servers and download and restore any missing or corrupt files that your Windows installation might have. In any case, run these two commands and restart your system and you should hopefully be able to get the error resolved. Next up, we are going to convert our partition to a GPT. So Windows 11 requires a GPT partition, and if you're still using an MBR one, I don't know how you managed to install Windows 11. It is possible to install it on an MBR partition, but if you're running it on an MBR partition, the chances are you're going to face problems and you should not be able to run it in the first place, which means this problem shouldn't exist, but just in case. Alternatively, if you're setting up for a clean reinstall of Windows, which you will have to do once you follow this method, you will need a GPT partition to follow through on this. So how do we do that? Well, Windows has a built-in tool for us. So we are going to press the Windows key and search for disk part. This will show you something like this that says run command. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, give it the permissions that it needs, and disk part is now open. So just follow these commands one by one. So the first thing that we have to do is list our disks. As you can see, I have 2 disks installed. One is disk 0, a 400 GB volume, another is disk 1, another 400 GB volume, and that's just my camera memory card, so we're not going to discount that. Figure out which one you're using. As you can see, both of my disks are GPT, which is why I don't have this problem on my system. But for example, let's just go ahead with disk 1. So this will be select disk 1. You need to know which disk what is. So if you are having confusion with this, what you can do is just open File Explorer, and you can check total sizes here. So for example, my games drive is 447 GB, and if I come back here, as you can see, as you can see, 447 GB is actually disk 0 and not the disk on which Windows is installed. So it's not necessarily true which disk does what. You're going to have to go and cross check. So for the sake of experiment, let's go ahead and select disk 0. Disk 0 will now be the selected disk. And here's now what you have to do. Any command that you enter into disk part from this point onwards is going to make irreversible changes to your drive. So be very sure what you're going to do. So the next command is clean. I am not going to run these because I do not want to repair my perfectly functioning computer. Well, almost perfectly functioning computer. So I'll just put the list of commands on the screen for you right now. The first one is clean. It wipes any configuration data from your drive. The next one is convert GPT, which does exactly what it sounds like. It converts the partition type from MBR or whatever it is to GPT. Then you create a primary partition using create partition primary. Then you quick format the whole drive with an ntfs file system, assign a drive letter to it using the assign command, and then you exit disk part. Once this is done, you will have to go ahead and re-download and reinstall Windows 11 from scratch. But this way you'll be doing it this time, you'll be doing it the right way. So this issue should not exist anymore. I know this is a hassle, but unless you can figure out how to make your BIOS settings work, in which case I can't help you as much as I want, because BIOS settings tend to be different for different computers and different motherboards. You will have to go ahead and sort of reset the whole cycle and get everything up and running again. But if you have any specific questions regarding your BIOS settings, drop a comment below and I'll make sure to try my best to help you out. If you like these videos, consider subscribing, give us a thumbs up, press the bell icon, and tell us in the comments below what more such content can we make for you. If you'd like to know more about tech, visit our website Candid.Technology, follow us on social media, follow me on Instagram or Twitter, and we'll see you in the next video.